thank all of you for giving your time and energy, and I will not interfere with the Chiefs game at all. I know how this deal goes, so let me just say to you that Hillary Clinton is energized, and she is fired up about this election. I am absolutely convinced that she can win this election maybe tomorrow. And the reason is Hillary Clinton was arguably one of the nation's top 100 lawyers before she left Arkansas. This woman is brilliant, and I think she is going to be a formidable opponent for Donald Trump at the debate. And if they are allowed to talk about issues, if they will stop anybody who strays from the truth, the debate is not even in question, because she is eons ahead of Donald Trump in terms of understanding government, knowing all the little intricacies of government. And the one thing that troubles me is this design of Hillary Clinton that's taken 30 years to create the image of a woman who is somehow not friendly and mean and so forth. I know Hillary Clinton. I've seen her in some very difficult circumstances, and I can tell you she is one of the nicest, funniest people that I've ever been around. I went to, she had asked me to come up to be with her during the Iowa Fair, and a police officer drove me up who had heard all of these things about her. She and I were in the hotel room sitting around talking, and then eventually Senator Harkin came. She comes out, walks right over to him, hugs him and starts talking to him. We get in the car, we went to 6 different cities. We got in the car, and he turns to me and he says, "Oh my goodness." He said, "She is a nice woman." And I said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Well, but all of this stuff," and I said, that's the point. These people have worked overtime to create an image of a woman that is false. And there's nothing that she's been able to do to erase it. But the one thing that I think people will be able to see, and that is that in terms of her knowledge about this government and her temperament, I mean, she's not going to start talking about people's ears and toenails and so forth. I mean, she's not going to call her opponent by any name, because she can call the names of every foreign leader of every nation in Europe and Asia and Africa, and will have met with all of them. She knows exactly where this country has been and where we need to go. Look, Donald Trump, and I don't like to even, but let me just, this is personal. This is personal. I'm going to say this so I can get through with it and have a nice evening. When I hear Donald Trump say that African Americans are worse off than they have ever been in the history of this country, I am just angered to the bone, because Frank Harrison Cleaver, my great-great-grandfather who died when I was 4, who had been in slavery, would be insulted that somebody could be so ignorant in 2016. But look, people continue to write Hillary Clinton off. They do it all the time, and I'm not mad about it. And the reason is, I just left Diane at another event, my wife, and she and our children, they've laughed at me for a couple of decades because I am obsessed with the Discovery Channel and the Animal Channel. I have to watch. I mean, I don't care about all this other stuff on TV. I want football and the Animal Channel. And And so I know all this stuff about animals. I mean, I know stuff that you don't know. But the bumblebee is the most interesting animal that God has made. They studied bumblebees. They studied them, trying to figure them out because they're not supposed to fly. I mean, if you factor in their weight, their wingspan, and their inward body parts, they are too big to fly. But somebody forgot to tell the bumblebee. So this ignorant bumblebee flies around anyway. It's been doing it for millennia because nobody told him. And the history of the world is a history of people who were told they couldn't fly. Oprah Winfrey had a baby at the age of 14.
That's right.
Told her she couldn't fly. FDR at age 39 became partially paralyzed. They told him he was going to have to leave politics. Einstein could not read at age 4. Could not do his alphabets at age 4. And his early teacher said the guy's an imbecile. He's not going to be able to fly. And so when you turn on and hear people talk about Hillary Clinton, let me just tell you, the woman can fly. I have seen her fly over the years. She can fly. Donald Trump can say whatever he wants, Hillary Clinton is going to fly. We're going to win the election because we connected ourselves to somebody who can fly. And they're not going to be able to stop her. They can do the anti-woman stuff if they want. They can do the hate that they want. The people of this country will be able to look at intellect, pure, undistilled intellect, and measure it with a man standing next to him who, if he releases his income tax returns, will end up in a Russian jail. I'm just saying. Look, we can win Missouri.
Yeah, we got to.
We're supposed to be 4 points down. We can win Missouri. When I was at the Hillary campaign office in Brooklyn, I told everybody sitting around the table, Podesta from the campaign manager down to Robbie Moot, saying we can win Missouri. You know why? I have 3 children. They've not polled any of them. And the reason they haven't, because they have cell phones. They don't have a landline. And all 3 are for Hillary Clinton.
That's right.
There are thousands of young people. We've got to get them out to vote. Look, the millennials, they got to get out and vote. We got to talk to millennials. If you have a millennial, talk to them. Let me tell you something. Bernie a bust. Bernie is not even Bernie a bust. I mean, he understands that you get Donald Trump in the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a major problem, not just for this country, but for the world.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And if you look around right now, I think people are nervous and so forth, and we all ought to be nervous. But we ought to use our nervousness to get out and work and call people and get kids on. If you have children on a college campus, you got to get them to vote. I mean, we can't spare a single vote. And if we win Missouri, I said this last week at a speech, and I said I think we can win Missouri. And after I said that, then Pluff says, "You win Missouri, we win the election."
Yeah.
We win the election. Why? Missouri hasn't been factored in any of the scenarios. That's right. There's not a single scenario that the HRC campaign has put together that factors in Missouri. We win Missouri, we win. And because I think it would also say that there's something else going on in the country. Now, people may decide they're going to vote for this guy until, they get up to the end and say, "Oh Lord, no, I can't do this." But we can't depend on them. We got to try to do this on our own. So I'm glad to see you are here. On a Sunday afternoon, you could be at home, which is where I'm going right now to watch the Chiefs game. All right, let's win.